Hello everybody, before we get in this video, I want you to go follow my Twitter, @ChaoticPolitics. I need more followers, please. I'm begging. Please. But it's been a while since I've done a short list of anything, so we're going to be, and this was requested to me a long time ago. So we're going to be doing this, the 2022 Ohio Senate short list. Let's just go down the list right now. First up, we have Anthony Gonzalez, a congressman from Ohio 16th. Couldn't think of any pros of this guy. Really couldn't. Don't like this guy. Not because he voted to impeach Donald Trump. There's a lot of things. Money laundering and all that. Don't like him. Very corrupt, establishment type of guy. Not for the establishment, really. So, yeah, this guy's the worst, in my opinion. Or one of the worst. Not as bad as Hillary or Kamala. Not as bad. Going on to Josh Mandel. I've talked about it in another video. Very lukewarm. Not lukewarm, just milquetoast politician. Very boring. Just says what he needs to say to get elected. That doesn't even work for him. He's lost He's lost 2 statewide races. One being a general, one being a primary. He's a former state treasurer. Hey, some pros. He's well known in Ohio through those 2 races, though I don't think it'll help him much. And as I've already stated, he's already lost a statewide race before to Sherrod Brown. Not going to help him. Going on to our first Democrat, Nina Turner. She's a former state senator. She's very popular in the suburbs with minority, which could actually help her in the state of Ohio. Very similar with what Barack Obama did, since he was the last Democrat to win statewide, not including Sherrod Brown, who's a moderate. She is not a moderate. Cons, she's a progressive. So far, not a single progressive has won a statewide race in Ohio. Unless I'm missing something, if you know of a progressive who's won statewide, comment down below, and I will retract that statement, and I'll put her up higher on the list, yeah, that's just, I'm not confident she would be able to win the seat for Democrats, I don't think she would. Next up, we have Kevin Boyce, the Franklin County Commissioner. He's popular with younger Americans, which is always good, as younger Americans are the future of this country. They're our future voters, future politicians, so on and so forth. But some cons is that he's pretty unknown amongst independents and just most people in general, especially the rural area, which ain't going to help him much, as Ohio's more and more rural every day, I guess you could say. It's very Trump country, I guess you could say. And someone like Kevin Boyce, who is unknown with independents and people in the rural area, Republicans could just slap socialist on him, and people in the rural area who don't know anything about him are just going to go, socialist, socialism bad. Next up, somebody who I'd have at the top of the list of the governor rankings, but not the Senate, is John Cranley, a Democrat. Currently the mayor of Cincinnati. He's very popular in the rural areas. Very popular, actually. He's like John Bell. He's a John Bell Edwards-esque Democrat. He's very conservative, which is a con. Too conservative, not too well known, and honestly just a better choice for governor, in my opinion. Next up is Amy Acton, the former health director of Ohio, a Democrat. Pro, she's popular in the suburbs, excellent on the COVID issue. Some cons, she could be lumped in as part of the establishment, which is never a good thing for Democrats or Republicans. Look at Hillary Clinton. Trump labeled her establishment. She lost. Also the fact that the Clintons are just unpopular, but we're just going to ignore that fact. Next up, Tim Ryan, a Democrat, even though it doesn't have a D next to his name. He's a Democrat, trust me. He's a congressman from Ohio's 13. Some pros, he's popular in the suburbs and in certain rural areas. These are rural areas that are next to they're like in the middle of being rural and suburban. They're right there in the middle, rural suburban areas. Cons, he's very boring at times and just appears weak. Look at the 2020 primary debates for reference when he's debating Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard. I think he clashed with Julian Castro at one point. Could be wrong. Though each time it made him look like a bitch. But not everybody can be a fighter, I guess. Next up is Jane Timken, a Republican. She's the former chair of the Ohio GOP. Pro, she lessens the gender gap, which is always needed. We need to lessen the gender gap. And cons, she's not that popular with younger Americans. Younger Americans don't like her despite the fact that she's a Trump ally. I don't know why younger Americans hate her so much. From what I understand, I could be fucking wrong. But I don't know. I don't have the answers. Next up, J.D. Vance, number 2 on the list. I should be, numbering these, but I'm not. Shows how good of a YouTuber I am. He's a Republican and an author. Pros, he's a political outsider that's popular with younger Americans. Americans love political outsiders. Look at Donald Trump when he first got elected. Look at Jesse Ventura. Look at, let's see, there's another one I can't remember. Laura Trump would be a good example, but I don't have any proof of that. Cons, he's a political unknown, which is the problem with every single political outsider. You don't know what they can do electorally. Currently, polls have him at 4%, but Mark Robinson was at 4% in the lieutenant governor polls, and he ended up winning big by 32%. So, there you go. And finally, number 1, my top choice for Senate is Jim Jordan. Even though he's already declined, I still think he would be the best choice for either side. He's a congressman from Ohio's 4th District. He is popular with younger Americans. It is relatively known in the state. The cons, he's polarizing. The problem with polarizing politicians is that they're usually unpopular nationwide. Does that account for statewide? Kind of. But I think if he were the nominee running against Tim Ryan, he'd probably win by a safe margin. That's just my opinion. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, go follow my Twitter at Chaotic Politics. This is the Chaotic One saying peace.